Welcome to a journey back in time, one that paints a vivid portrait of America's 16th president. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln often felt photographs couldn't quite capture his true essence? Or that behind every iconic image of Lincoln, there lies a story waiting to be told? In this video, we don't just showcase rare photographs of old Honest Abe, but we delve deep into the tales, anecdotes, and historical context behind each one. From candid moments revealing personal reflections to formal shots symbolizing his enduring leadership, we'll unravel Lincoln's life and legacy in a way you've never seen before. Join us as we discover not just the man in the images, but the stories they tell, offering a nuanced glimpse into the legend that is Abraham Lincoln, October 27, 1854. An unexpected souvenir. While in Chicago, Lincoln shared a meal with George Schneider, a former editor of the Illinois Staatszeitung, a prominent anti-slavery German newspaper of the West. Post-meal, on their way downtown, the gentleman made an impromptu stop at an itinerant photograph gallery. Here, Lincoln had his photograph taken as a memento for Mr. Schneider. This image stands as the second earliest known photograph of Lincoln, a testament to their budding friendship. February 28, 1857. Humble reflection. Lincoln's modesty is captured in this photograph. While arranging for the sitting so that members of the bar could acquire prints, Lincoln expressed bewilderment, wondering why anyone would want a print of such a homely face. The photo session wasn't without its memorable moments. Joseph Medill, who accompanied Lincoln, shared how the photographer tried to tidy Lincoln's unruly hair. However, Lincoln wasn't too pleased and ruffled it back to its usual state before the photograph was taken. May 27, 1857. A favorite stopover. While the exact date of this photo is debated, the consensus is that it was taken on May 27, 1857. This snapshot was captured at Joslin's Gallery in Danville, Illinois, a place Lincoln frequented during his travels as a lawyer. Amon T. Joslin, the photographer, took two pictures during this sitting. One was kept by Lincoln, and the other given to his friend Thomas J. Hilliard, deputy sheriff of Vermilion County, 1858, the homely man from Illinois. R. M. Cole, the photographer, recollected how he invited Lincoln to his gallery during the intense Lincoln-Douglas campaign. Lincoln humorously questioned the desire of artists to capture his image, jesting about his own appearance. This image, however, became quite popular. It was not only used in the 1860 presidential campaign but also often autographed by Lincoln for his admirers. 1858. An Ohio memory. This portrait's origins trace back to a Civil War soldier from Parma, Ohio. Though it's speculated that this might be a photographic copy of one of two now-lost daguerreotypes taken in Ohio, the true lineage remains a mystery. May 7, 1858. The linen-coated Lincoln. Captured during the heat of the Lincoln-Douglas campaign, this photograph portrays Lincoln in a distinctive linen coat. Considered an authentic representation of his appearance at the time, it was once housed in the Lincoln Monument Collection at Springfield, Illinois. May 25, 1858. A coat of humor. In an amusing twist of fate, when photographer Mr. Alschuler wanted to take Lincoln's photograph, he found the president's linen duster unsuitable. Offering his own coat, which was a mismatch for Lincoln's lanky frame, the end result was a comical sight. Lincoln, however, took it in stride, chuckling at his appearance. August 26, 1858. The genuine Lincoln. While at Macomb, Lincoln was invited by Mr. Magee to step into Mr. Pearson's photo establishment. Lincoln's response, questioning if they wanted to take a shot at him with the camera, showcased his characteristic humor. Those who knew Lincoln well often claimed this to be one of his best likenesses, capturing him in the attire he wore during his famous canvass with Senator Douglas, September 26, 1858. A gift to Harriet. During the intense joint debates with Douglas, Lincoln made a stop in Charleston, Illinois, where his stepmother resided. Before leaving, Harriet, a family member, requested a photograph. True to his word, Lincoln later sent her a framed picture from Springfield. His accompanying letter displayed his characteristic humility and humor as he remarked about the poor subject of the photograph. The cherished photograph remains with Mr. K.N. Chapman, great-grandson of Sarah Bush Lincoln. September 30th, 1858. Compassion amidst tragedy. On the cusp of the U.S. Senate campaign's climax against Stephen A. Douglas, Lincoln found himself in Pittsfield, Illinois. While his debates with Douglas were creating ripples, another event would add an unexpected layer to his narrative. Tragedy struck when Charles Lame, involved in preparing a cannon for a Lincoln rally, faced a horrific accident. As a sign of empathy, Lincoln gifted Lame one of his ambrotype images, a poignant gesture underscoring his compassionate nature. This particular photograph, with its heart-wrenching backdrop, has now found a home in the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. The ambrotype, an innovative technique of the time, produced an image that beautifully encapsulated Lincoln's essence. But the story doesn't end with the photograph. Despite the grave nature of Lame's injuries, a remarkable twist of fate and nature intervened. Horseflies, often viewed as pests, played an unwitting role in Lame's recovery. Their larvae feasted on the infected tissue, inadvertently aiding in healing a wound that was pushing Lame to the brink. The story surrounding this photograph touches on various facets of the period, from medical practices of the era to the personal challenges Lincoln faced, like his own facial asymmetry resulting from a childhood accident. The ambrotype, with its deep ties to compassion, resilience, and unexpected heroism, offers viewers a unique lens into 1858 Illinois and the character of its most famous son. Lincoln's close associate, Daniel Gilmer, who tragically lost his life during the Civil War, also received a copy of this image. However, time and inexpert handling have taken a toll on that version. Yet, the photo gifted to Lame and its interwoven tales of compassion and survival remains an unforgettable snapshot of a moment in history. October 1st, 1858. Afternoon in Pittsfield. On a crisp October afternoon, after addressing the townsfolk of Pittsfield, Illinois for 2 hours, Lincoln visited the portable canvas gallery of Calvin Jackson. At the behest of his friend Daniel H. Gilmer, Lincoln sat for 2 ambrotype poses. Of the 2, only one was deemed satisfactory. Lincoln ensured that copies were dispatched to 2 local friends the very next day. October 11th, 1858. Pre-debate moment. A mere 2 days before his penultimate debate with Douglas in Quincy, Illinois, this ambrotype captures a contemplative Lincoln, possibly reflecting on the intense confrontations that lay ahead. October 4th, 1859. A favorite of Mrs. Lincoln. Posing at the Gallery of Cook and Fassett in Chicago, this portrait garnered special appreciation. Mrs. Lincoln herself expressed her fondness for this image, stating it to be the most accurate likeness of her husband. February 27, 1860. The Brady Gaze. On the day of his groundbreaking Cooper Union speech, Lincoln had his photograph taken by the renowned Matthew Brady. This image captures the essence of a man on the brink of monumental change. May 20th, 1860. The new nominee. Just 2 days after securing his party's nomination, this photograph immortalizes a resolute Lincoln in Springfield, Illinois, gearing up for the tumultuous presidential campaign ahead. May 20th, 1860. The Eastern Curiosity. Captured by William Marsh for Marcus Lawrence Ward, this photograph served a significant purpose. While many in the East were familiar with Lincoln's powerful rhetoric, few had actually witnessed the man behind the words. This image bridged that gap. June 3, 1860. The Lincolnian Pose. In a session with Hessler, Lincoln's unique characteristics were strikingly captured. 4 portraits were taken, but one stood out distinctly. Lincoln's law partner, William Herndon, lauded it, noting the specific quirks and features that made it quintessentially Lincoln. June 3, 1860. The People's Portrait. Upon viewing this photograph alongside its side-view counterpart, Lincoln expressed rare satisfaction. He observed, "That looks better and expresses me better than any I have ever seen." The sentiment was simple. If the image resonated with the people, he was content. 1860. From ashes to art. Misfortune struck after this distinctive image was captured. The negative, holding potential prints of Lincoln's likeness, was tragically lost in a fire that devastated the photographer's gallery. 1860. Sculptor's vision. Highlighting Lincoln's commanding stature, this full-length photograph was purposed for sculptor Henry Kirk Brown's artistic endeavors. Rediscovered in 1931, it offered a unique perspective on Lincoln, captured to inspire artistry. Summer, 1860. Retouched reality. While the authenticity of this photograph is undeniable, it has undergone noticeable alterations. Softening the rough edges of time, Lincoln's features, from necklines to skin texture, have been delicately smoothed. August 13, 1860. Farewell to the beardless look. Signifying the last beardless image of Lincoln, this ambrotype is a relic from a collection of 6. Commissioned by John M. Reed for artist John Henry Brown, it was meant to capture a good-looking Lincoln for a miniature portrait showcasing the future president in all his raw charm. February 9, 1861. Prelude to the Inauguration. 2 days before departing Springfield for his inauguration in Washington, D.C., Lincoln paused for this photograph. The image likely captures a blend of anticipation and reflection, standing at the precipice of leadership. February 24, 1861. The Capitol's introduction. A day after his arrival in Washington, D.C., President-elect Lincoln sat for this portrait. The significance of this photograph lies in its timing, Lincoln's inaugural moments in the city that would be central to his presidency. Spring, 1861. Mysterious firsts. Marking the initial photographic portrayal of the newly elected president, this image's origins remain shrouded in mystery. Different imprints attribute it to varying photographers, making its provenance an enigma. Its uniqueness and value were recognized in 2009, fetching an impressive $206,500 at auction. February 1862. The Weight of Grief. Captured shortly after the heart-wrenching loss of his son Willie, this photograph profoundly reflects Lincoln's sorrow. Governor Joseph W. Pfeiffer of Illinois poignantly described the image, sensing melancholy dripping from Lincoln's very being. April 17, 1863. A full-length feat. In an ambitious endeavor, Thomas Lemaire, operating for Matthew Brady Studios, believed capturing a full-length portrait of the president would garner significant interest. Using a multiple-lens camera, he accomplished this task with finesse at Brady's esteemed gallery. August 9, 1863. The Sphinx-Like Lincoln. In repose, Lincoln's face held a stoic and somber gravity that Dr. James Minor likened to the inscrutability of a sphinx. However, when laughter or a smile brightened his countenance, the transformation was remarkable, bringing to life the most expressive of features. November 8, 1863. Prelude to Gettysburg. Weeks before articulating the profound words of the Gettysburg Address, Lincoln was immortalized by Alexander Gardner. Though the portrait was taken in Washington, its proximity to the momentous speech earned it the moniker, the Gettysburg Portrait. January 8, 1864. Brady's presidential sessions. In 1864, Lincoln frequented Matthew Brady's Washington, D.C. studio. From these visits, multiple portraits have endured, offering varied glimpses into the demeanor of the 16th president. February 9, 1864. Immortalized in copper. Famously termed the penny profile, this particular likeness of Lincoln would serve a special purpose. In 1909, Victor David Brenner employed this image, along with another from the same session, to craft the enduring design of the Lincoln cent. February 1865. A practical haircut. Lincoln's noticeably shorter hairstyle, possibly recommended for the creation of his life mask by Clark Mills, stands out in this portrait. While once attributed to Matthew Brady, it's now recognized that the photograph was captured by Lewis Emery Walker, a government photographer. February 5, 1865, the final formal glimpse. Marking a poignant moment in history, this is the last formal portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, captured mere months before his tragic assassination. It remains a haunting reminder of a life and legacy cut short. Which image do you believe truly captures the essence of this iconic leader? Is there a particular portrait that resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts and join the conversation in the comments down below.